Have you ever wondered what drove Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of the most influential authors of all time, to write his profound works? Born in Moscow in 1821, Dostoevsky was the second of 8 children, with his father, Mikhail Dostoevsky, being a strict and authoritarian figure. His mother, Maria Dostoevskaya, was described as a kind and compassionate woman. Dostoevsky began his education at a boarding school for the children of the nobility, and later attended a military engineering academy in St. Petersburg. However, he soon discovered his passion for literature and writing, which led him to pursue a career as a writer instead of pursuing a military career. He was also exposed to the harsh realities of life when his father was murdered, a tragedy that left a lasting imprint on his psyche. How did Dostoevsky's experiences with imprisonment and exile affect his writing? In the mid-1840s, Dostoevsky found himself entangled with a group known as the Petrashevsky Circle. This group of intellectuals, fascinated by radical ideas of Western Europe, soon caught the attention of Tsar Nicholas I. Their discussions were viewed as seditious, leading to Dostoevsky's arrest and eventual sentence to hard labor in a Siberian prison camp. During his time in Siberia, Dostoevsky endured harsh conditions and faced the prospect of execution, which deeply affected him both psychologically and spiritually. It was during this period that he underwent a profound spiritual transformation and experienced a renewal of his Christian faith. This is evident in his later works, where characters often grapple with existential crises and moral dilemmas. His writings became a mirror reflecting humanity's capacity to endure suffering and the possibility of finding redemption through it. After his release from exile in 1854, Dostoevsky returned to St. Petersburg and resumed his literary career. Over the next 3 decades, he produced some of his most famous and influential works. Crime and Punishment is a novel first published in 1866. The novel revolves around the life of Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov, a young man from St. Petersburg who is living in poverty and isolation. Raskolnikov believes himself to be an extraordinary person who is entitled to bypass societal laws for the greater good. Driven by this belief and his desperate financial situation, he plans and executes the murder of a pawnbroker, Alyona Ivanovna, convinced that his actions are justified. However, the murder does not go as smoothly as Raskolnikov had anticipated, leading to the death of another innocent victim and plunging him into a deep psychological turmoil. The novel delves into Raskolnikov's internal conflict and guilt, his interactions with other characters who represent various aspects of Russian society, and his eventual confrontation with the law in the form of the meticulous detective Porfiry Petrovich. Themes of guilt, redemption, and the moral justification for crime permeate the narrative. Dostoevsky explores the psychological impact of Raskolnikov's actions on his mental state and relationships, particularly with his family and Sonia Marmeladova, a deeply religious woman who becomes a major influence on his path to redemption. Crime and Punishment is widely regarded as one of Dostoevsky's masterpieces and a seminal work in world literature. It offers a profound examination of the nature of human consciousness, morality, and the societal pressures that influence individual choices. The Idiot, written by Fyodor Dostoevsky and first published in serial form in 1868-69, is a novel that explores themes of innocence, beauty, and the complexity of human relationships against the backdrop of Russian society of the 19th century. The story centers around Prince Lev Nikolaevich Myshkin, a young man who returns to Russia after spending several years in a Swiss sanatorium for treatment of his epilepsy. Myshkin's pure, open-hearted disposition and lack of guile lead many in the sophisticated society circles he enters to regard him as an idiot. Despite his noble intentions, Myshkin's naivete and goodness often bring about misunderstanding and conflict. He becomes entangled in a love triangle with Nastasia Filipovna, a beautiful but troubled woman with a dark past, and Aglaya Yapanchina, a young woman from a noble family. Myshkin's attempts to navigate the complex social dynamics and to save Nastasia Filipovna from a destructive path highlight his Christ-like qualities and set the stage for tragedy. The novel is rich with a cast of characters that represent the spectrum of Russian society, from the morally corrupt to the ideologically conflicted. Dostoevsky uses these characters and their interactions with Myshkin to critique the materialism vanity, and spiritual emptiness of the society of his time. Through the tragic figure of Prince Mishkin, Dostoevsky poses enduring questions about the capacity for purity in a corrupt world and the possibility of true altruism. We have the Brothers Karamazov. The story is set in 19th century Russia and revolves around the tumultuous lives of the Karamazov family, particularly the three brothers, Dmitry, Ivan, and Alexei, Alyosha. The main idea of the Brothers Karamazov is an exploration of the human condition, focusing on themes such as the nature of faith, the existence of God, the problem of evil, and the search for meaning and redemption in a morally ambiguous world. The novel begins with the murder of Fyodor Pavlovich Karamazov, the father of the three brothers, by one of his servants. The narrative then follows the complex relationships and conflicts among the Karamazov brothers, each of whom represents different aspects of the human psyche and moral outlook. Dmitry, the eldest brother, is passionate and impulsive, driven by his desires and emotions. Ivan, the middle brother, is intellectual and skeptical, questioning traditional beliefs and moral values. Alyosha, the youngest brother, is spiritual and compassionate, seeking to reconcile faith with the harsh realities of life. As the plot unfolds, the novel delves into the moral and philosophical dilemmas faced by the characters, particularly Ivan's famous The Grand Inquisitor chapter, in which he presents a critique of organized religion and the concept of divine justice. Ultimately, the Brothers Karamazov culminates in a trial that serves as a metaphorical reckoning for the moral and spiritual struggles of the characters. Through the trial, Dostoevsky confronts fundamental questions about the nature of good and evil, the existence of God, and the possibility of redemption and forgiveness. The novel concludes with a message of hope and reconciliation, as Alyosha seeks to transcend the divisions and conflicts that plague the Karamazov family and embrace a vision of love, forgiveness, and spiritual renewal. The Brothers Karamazov is widely regarded as one of Dostoevsky's greatest literary achievements, offering a profound and complex exploration of the human soul and its capacity for both greatness and depravity. Dostoevsky's personal life was marked by financial struggles, gambling addiction, and health problems, including epilepsy. He married twice, first to Maria Dmitrievna Isaeva, who died of tuberculosis shortly after their marriage, and later to Anna Grigorievna Snitkina, who became his devoted companion and helped manage his affairs. Fyodor Dostoevsky passed away on February 9, 1881, in St. Petersburg, Russia, at the age of 59. Despite facing numerous challenges and setbacks throughout his life, he left behind a rich literary legacy that continues to inspire and resonate with readers around the world.